We have an update on Etiosa Ikodaro's fitness. We are also going to talk about Khanyisa Mayo and his availability to Kaizer Chiefs. We will also talk about the decision that Kaizer Chiefs has taken regarding Olani Khosa and Mabue. It's very interesting why Kaizer Chiefs signed him. And Navi said something that made me go, that's interesting. But also we'll talk about the fixture lists of Kaizer Chiefs, the changes that have been announced. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Belo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Khosi Football Club. Please subscribe to the channel. I am sick, but here I am making content because, content. Anyways, can we talk about the first story for today, which is Ikodaro. So the nice thing about Ikodaro that keeps on being said but has now been almost kind of confirmed is the fact that he's naturalized, which means he's registered as a South African player or as a local player in a way, which means that Kaizer Chiefs still has a foreign spot. We don't know who they are keeping it for. Maybe they just want to keep it, open just in case sometime in the future they want to sign someone. I still have a dream. I will tell you this. I did an analysis, obviously, of Chiefs playing against Arrows. Go check out that video. It has like 5,000 views. That's very sad. So go check out that video after this one. But I was talking about the strengths of. I also highlighted the strengths of Mteto in our system, but also there are some glaring weaknesses with him. So if they could go outside of South Africa, since they can't find a proper defensive midfielder who can do both the defending and the attacking part, then you can always use it for that, because I think that if you have a foreign spot, it should be used. For example, Lilepo, prolific winger. Flavio, he's a goal scorer, comes in, he scores the goal, right? So it should be like important roles and starters, because we cannot ignore the fact that Mteto has weaknesses as much as he also has his strengths. It's just that we shouldn't now bash him because he has weaknesses, right? But that spot is open. But on top of that, there is also the fact that there's also the fact that Ikodaro will be very available after the international break. So that's good, because that means more players will be available. And also I'm hearing that Aboshing and Abochislet are nearing the fitness levels. And I believe good these players are really not fit, because I watched Flavio score a goal. He had a lot of good movements off the ball, but he looked finished. Like he was so tired. He was really tired. So I believe when the coaches are saying that players are still fixing their fitness problems. So we can't wait to have him as well, have more options and variation up front. Which brings us to another player up front. So here's a story of Khanyisa Mayo. According to Mazola, SABC Sports, they are saying that Kaizer Chiefs' his target, whose long-term target we wanted long time ago, has not been listed as part of the squad of CF or CR Belouizdad, which I find crazy, right? Because the coach, Usiad Ramovic, was coaching here in South Africa, and he saw what Khanyisa Mayo is capable of doing. But at the same time, I did say when I last spoke about Khanyisa Mayo that it seems like the team generally does not know how to use him. I saw him even before Ramovic got there. He was being played on the right, sometimes play on the left. I'm like, are you guys sure you know where this guy is supposed to play? And now he's available. So in the market in the market where he is, he's obviously not going to be able to move to other teams, North Africa, because the window is closed. But he's available to other markets like ours, because our market is still open. So we can still go get him. I don't think this will be very difficult to do, given the fact that they have basically done what? They have not named him, which is a clear signal. Like, imagine not being named in the squad. Not the squad for the Champions League, no. The squad for the season. So that means he's going to be doing what the entire season? Nothing. So this should be an easy move, because I'm thinking that the team will just want to get their money back. Because if he stays there, it's a negative for them, because then they have to pay him. But if they let him go to Chiefs with whatever structure the Chiefs might come with, then we get him. And I know Kaizer Chiefs have this thing of, if they'd wanted a player, they will still go out and get them even 3 years after, 5 years, 10 years. As the Takwenika, as Kumtanzan, as Pio Shabalala, we do have the tendency of letting a player go or not signing or failing to sign a player, and then later on we still go back down and get that player. So go get Khanyisa Mayo. He can even play as a right winger, can play as a striker, but right winger right now because there is Ikotaro, there is Usilva, but then he can also play as a 10, So there's a lot of ways that you can play Umayo, especially since it's proven in the league. Because I think one of the things someone asked me on Twitter is like, hey, but you have Batman in that place. Guys, one thing that you guys must understand about Batman, they will be slowly getting integrated to the team. They won't be starters yet, unless they really perform. But look at Umfundo. He comes in, he performs, but the problem is you cannot trust Umfundo with 90 minutes yet. The reason is he's not tactically disciplined as much. Physically, the conditions of the PSL of running up and down the entire match of the system of Chiefs, he cannot do that. That is why he shines most of the times, because he's given the last 20 minutes, the last 30 minutes. In every match that he has started, he doesn't do that great because of the fact that then he has to go back and defend, he has to go front and attack, and that takes away a lot from him. So while he's building his confidence, and then he can be given 30 minutes, then he can be given 35, then he can be given the entire half. But for now, he's still a good impact player, which is the same thing that's going to happen with Abu Batman and Abu Velepai. They're still young players in South African language, unfortunately. Even if you are 21, 22, you are still a young player because, our development is way behind that of Europe, because people say, but Abu Yamal was getting bathed by Messi when he was a toddler. So football, he's been doing it since he was a toddler. So you can't then start comparing Abu Mfundo Vilakazi and Abu Yamal, as much as both of them are extremely talented players, but some of them have been in the tactical pipeline for such a long time, while Abu Mfundo have been taught you are Mtsoyembu Mnandi in, but they've not been in systems that where like you play as a team, you defend, you go forward. They just have a strength in going forward. Which then brings us to the next story, which is Olan Khosa. So Khosa, left-footed centre-back of Kaizer Chiefs. Like, it's weird how many left-footed centre-backs Chiefs has now. McCarthy is there. Totally is still injured. Cross is there. There's also, what's this? Who's this? Yeah, those three. My brain is now. And then there's also Khosa, obviously, but Khosa is not going to be playing in the senior team, as we've mentioned, the other three people who are above him. But now Kaizer Chiefs have offered him a professional contract, right? A professional contract, and on top of that, according to our offer post, they are also trying to get him loaned out, and they are looking at teams that can grow him. And I know this usually doesn't end well, but I hope that as the report by Mthokozi Sitube, they're saying that they're engaging various teams on who he can go to, and I'm hoping that it's a team where he can, where they play, with a team that plays football, not a team that, like, I wouldn't want him to play for Gavin Hunt, for example, because there's no playing there. I wouldn't mind him playing for maybe, say, a team like TS Galaxy, but there's already Ndamane at TS Galaxy, unless he leaves and goes to Sundowns. I wouldn't mind him playing maybe, let me see, what's another team that plays football? Okay, Stellenbosch Nomulo Isane, but he is the one playing on the left, but he can pair with him. But I want it to be a team like Kuzwane, Kumazulu, Azofika on the left side of the centre back pairing, and then he can always come back the following season. Which then brings us to the next story, and that is Mabue. So Unabi said something very interesting regarding Lebohang Mabue, and I'm going to read it. He says that congratulations to the Kaizer Chiefs board for signing Mabue. Now, that for me says two things. One, Chiefs are still signing players, right? Which I'm not sure how I feel, but here's the thing. If Nabi submitted, I want this profile, and they went and got Mabue, who fits the profile, then there's no problem. But if they are the ones who decided to get Mabue, then I wouldn't love that, right? Because now it seems like Nabi there are certain players that I for one think that Nabi wouldn't have gone out and said, I want this player, and like Morris, like we're not bashing anyone. But Nabi in January, yes, he needed a striker who could press, but he already had to do pre, already had to do for that. I think what he wanted more, yes, as much as he wanted a physical striker who can press, and he got Daro later on in now in June. But I don't think he would have wanted a player who had scored 3 goals in the past 3 seasons. Right? I don't think that's the case. I think that they do submit a profile list of this is the type of player we want, but then the sporting director will go out and say, okay, this one can press, he's tall, and with a lot of deliveries, he could probably also start scoring goals. That was their approach with Morris, I'm thinking. But I hope that if he says no, they allow him. But it doesn't sound like he says no. Because before he did say that he said no when they offered a striker from Portugal. So I hope that there's nothing much to read here, because it does say that, yeah, he's a great player and we need his qualities. He has a lot of experience from Sundowns that can help us. Now he's working with the fitness coach. And then regarding the new players, well, Mabu is one of the new players. They say for sure at the right time we'll introduce them to make it easy for them to perform. So yeah, that's that. And Nabi himself has got a new fixture list to deal with. So on the 16th of September, Chiefs will now be playing Sekhukhune. That game was supposed to be on the 17th. Now it's been moved by a day, because on the 19th, Kaizer Chiefs will be playing in Angola in the CAF Confederations Cup. And on the 19th, obviously, the CAF Confederations Cup. The game that was supposed to be against TS Galaxy on the 21st, initially it was supposed to be moved to the 14th of September, but now there are 2 problems. One, on the 14th, Mbombela is not available because, well, they're hosting the Nedbank Cup right on the 13th, so that's not going to happen. But secondly, it wouldn't have made sense in any case, even if they found another venue. You play on the 14th on a Sunday, then you skip Monday and Tuesday you are playing. That makes no sense, right? So the Galaxy game has been postponed, and the team posted a statement saying that that game will be, what's the word? They will announce when the game is going to be played. And on the 24th, we're playing TS Galaxy. I mean, Galants, Marumo Galants. So it's from the 19th, and then the 24th, we're playing Galants. I have a feeling that game will be moved as well, because the 24th of, what's this thing? The 24th, Kaizer Chiefs, yes. I'm looking for a calendar. I'm doing this live. Oh, so yeah, sue me. The 24th is on a Wednesday. I think that game might be moved to the 23rd. I really think so. Reason is because of the fact that if we're playing Gallants on the 24th, and then the 26th we're playing Kev, so we can't be playing on the 24th, a Wednesday, and then Friday we're playing Kev. And since we're playing Kev on the 19th, then we have no game on the 20th or 21st, and then we can play on the either 22nd or 23rd. We can still play a game. I think 23rd is much more suitable. Then we recover on the 14th. We train on the 25th. We play on the 26th. So I'm thinking that that game against Gallants on the 24th will be played, will be moved by a day as well, because the one against Amazulu, which was supposed to be on the 27th, PSL already provided the dates, and the date is the 1st of October against Amazulu. But what do you guys think? Do you think we need Khanyisa Mayo? And if you haven't watched the video where I analyze the game against Arrows, go check it out right here. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals Alpelumo. Hey, I'm not in focus. Alpelumo. It's not focus. It's frame.